We've heard that knowledge is a key piece of interfaith leadership, but why does developing all of this knowledge matter for interfaith work? How does it help us to build relationships and create social change for the common good? Social scientists measure interactions between religious groups in 3 ways: attitudes, relationships, and knowledge. These 3 factors form what we call the interfaith triangle because each of these 3 measures impacts the other 2. We can use this triangle to easily see why knowledge is so essential to building relationships, fostering interfaith cooperation, and creating pluralism out of diversity.
How much knowledge someone has about a particular religious group or tradition, or the type of knowledge someone has about that group, affects their attitude toward the members of that group. For example, in 2009, the Pew Research Forum conducted a study which found that people who reported a high familiarity with Islam, for example, knowing that Muslims call God Allah and call their holy book the Quran, are 3 times more likely to have favorable views of Muslims than those who report low familiarity. Other studies have confirmed similar findings. The more you know about a religious tradition, or the more appreciative knowledge you have about a religious group, the more likely you are to have a positive attitude toward them, and in turn, to develop relationships with members of that group. In social science terms, appreciative knowledge and favorable attitudes are positively correlated. The more you have of one, the more likely you will have the other.
Relationships have an even larger impact on our attitudes about other religious groups. A 2007 Pew study found just 32% of people who did not know a Muslim had a favorable view of Islam, while 56% of people who had relationships with at least one Muslim had a positive attitude toward Islam. That's a nearly 25% difference. So again, social scientists would say that relationships and favorable attitudes are positively correlated.
This idea is developed by Robert Putnam and David Campbell in their book American Grace as the My Friend Al principle. To illustrate this principle, let's imagine someone named Darshini. Darshini is a Sikh and also an amateur astronomer. Through a local astronomy club, she meets Al. Over time, Darshini learns that she and Al have several shared interests beyond astronomy, and that Al is an evangelical Christian who's very involved in his church community. Prior to meeting Al, Darshini harbored a host of prejudices about evangelicals, mostly based on what she had seen on television and from hearing friends and family say that evangelicals are closed-minded and have no respect for other religions. As she and Al become friends, Darshini starts to question this generalization of evangelicals. Al and she have so much in common, and she's always very kind and respectful to her, so she starts thinking, maybe evangelicals aren't so bad after all. Putnam and Campbell have found strong statistical evidence demonstrating that people's regard for entire religious groups improves through a positive, meaningful relationship with even one member of that group, often formed through a common activity. What's more, Putnam and Campbell found that there is also a generalizing effect of interfaith relationships. Through becoming friends with Al, the evangelical who likes astronomy, not only does Darshini's attitude toward evangelicals improve, her attitude towards Latter-day Saints and Muslims gets better. As Putnam and Campbell put it, we have reasonably firm evidence that as people build more religious bridges, they become warmer toward people of many different religions, not just those religions represented within their social network. This is a powerful piece of social science data for interfaith leaders. By helping individuals form even one positive relationship with someone who is religiously different, interfaith leaders can help reduce religious prejudice across the board.
The final side of the interfaith triangle is perhaps the most intuitive, and it's one that we've already discussed. If you develop a relationship with someone who orients around religion differently than you are more likely to improve your appreciative knowledge of that different orientation. Relationships and appreciative knowledge are positively correlated. Thus, the interfaith triangle provides a powerful and useful way to think about how appreciative knowledge, interfaith relationships, and positive attitudes are all mutually reinforcing. If you know some accurate and positive things about a religion, and you know some people from that religion, you are far more likely to have a favorable attitude toward that tradition in that community. The more favorable your attitude, the more open you are to new relationships and additional appreciative knowledge. As an interfaith leader, you can start anywhere on the triangle to foster a virtuous cycle that builds towards pluralism.